Hey y'all, before you see some new stuff I've added to my collection, I want you to go check out this music video that we directed for the band MANFLESH. The song is called The Road to WICK. I think you're gonna dig it. It's kind of like garage rock, indie rock, alternative rock. Please check it out. Greetings y'all, welcome to another video. Today I'm going to be showing you and talking about albums that I've picked up recently from various different places. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. First up, from 2025, we get Shriekback and a brand new album from Shriekback called Monument. Now, as you can see, I have nothing to show you, even though in the beginning I said I was going to show you stuff. I am once again a liar. But currently there aren't any physical copies of their new album available for purchase. But according to the band, there will be vinyl and CD available soon. And I'm looking forward to that because I like Shriekback. Mainly, there was like a run of 3 albums in like the late 80s that they had that I love, all 3 of those records. And I haven't really kept up with the band after that. There's other albums after that, but I never really kept up. I'm not familiar with any of that stuff. But what happened was I woke up maybe a week or 2 ago and checked my email, and lo and behold, there's a email from Shriekback saying, hey, here's a free download of our brand new album. And that was a nice surprise. I downloaded it, took a listen, and I'll be honest, I really loved it. I really dug it. Again, I'm not familiar with what they've been doing since like the early 90s or whatever, but this sounded like a throwback to those 80s albums that I really liked. And if you're not familiar with Shriekback, they're kind of like post-punk, new wave, synth, alternative kind of music. But yeah, just really couldn't believe how good this album was. I mean, once those physical copies are available for sale, I'm definitely going to pick this up. The tracks that I dug on it were The Curse, Wasps in Heaven, Just World Fallacy, Plumed, Idiot Dancing, and the title track, Monument. Yeah, just really surprised me. I didn't really expect to like it, but I loved it. Great, great album, Shriekback Monument. Check it out. From 2015, we get the Valentines and their album Dark Drives, Life Signs. This is a band, alternative band. I think they are out of Vancouver. I first became aware of them from hearing one of their songs in a movie that I really liked. Not the movie, the song. But the movie was okay. But and I picked up they put out like an EP that had that song on it. I picked that up on vinyl last summer and really liked that whole album. And then noticed they had this full-length album available and picked it up. I tried to get it on vinyl. It was a little tricky. Even getting this on CD was a little tricky. I bought this on Bandcamp directly from the band. And they actually sent me 2 copies because they said that these things, the band doesn't, I think the band is kaput. It doesn't really exist anymore. Either that or they're on a very lengthy hiatus. So I think, even when I ordered this on Bandcamp, it took a while for anybody to even respond because I'm guessing the band isn't really checking their emails too frequently anymore. And they apologized for that and sent 2 copies of this because they were in storage and everything. And they were concerned that they were going to send this and maybe something would be wrong with it, and then they blah, 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 blah. So they just said, here's 2 copies in the event one's bad. But really cool alternative band, kind of have like a bit of an R&B flavor to them. They have a male, female lead singer, so they kind of trade off songs here and there. But yeah, just really cool band. Just really like their songs, and I think they have a few other things available on Bandcamp, like digital stuff or whatever. But yeah, I'm just really happy with it. Not too happy with just having an insert. But yeah, cool album, great band. Tracks on here I like are PMA, Let's Go, My Place, Your Town, Curse, I Believe, and Us. 2 albums in a row with a song called Curse that I liked. How about that? Interesting. Check them out. Valentine's. 2024, we get Proper Youth and their album Rusty Grand Am. This is packaged in just a sleeve, which these, I hate these, you know. I mean, there's always the discussion about digipacks and jewel cases and back and forth about that. This is the worst part of any of that discussion, is when the band just puts it out on a sleeve. Oh, well, what can you do? I mean, I know this is probably, you know, helps an indie band like this with costs and stuff. But so the story with this one is, I was scrolling through Instagram one day and this popped up as kind of like an ad or a suggestion or whatever. So this band was basically saying, if you want our album for free on CD, contact us, and as long as you pay shipping, we'll send you the free CD. So that sounded kind of interesting. I listened to the song that they were using as, you know, the promotion or whatever. It was called Local Gravity. I listened to that and I really liked the song. So I was like, you know, why not? I'll take a gamble on it. So I reached out to them, and I think it was coming through Bandcamp, of course. And, you know, like they said, they were offering it for free, just pay the shipping. But I decided just to, you know, it's an indie band. I just decided to pay whatever the price was, you know, $10 or whatever for it. Why not? You know, you got to help out those indie bands and stuff. And it's good. It's really good. It's alternative. It's kind of got like a sort of like a 80s like college rock kind of sound to it. Yeah, just really dug this album. I'm really happy with this. The tracks on here that I like are Modern Cowboy, God in a Microscope, Rusty Grand Am, Out to the City, and like I mentioned, Local Gravity, which was the song that attracted to me in the first place and decided to pick this up. But yeah, really good band. Curious to see where they go from here. 2018, we got a 45. We got Archie and the Bunkers, Play the Damned. Picked this up at a cool record store called Groovy Graveyard in Asbury Park. Groovy Graveyard in Asbury Park. Cool place. Lots of good punk records and everything like that. I was in there a couple of months ago looking at stuff. I think I picked up a copy of The Descendants, Milo Goes to College, for our buddy JT out in Reno. And saw this sitting on the shelf, and the name of the band just kind of gave me a laugh. Archie and the Bunkers. For you young people, that was from an old TV show called All in the Family. And I like The Damned, so thought I'd, you know, just what the hell? Let me try it. Let me give it a shot. And it's funny because when I got this originally, there's no date on it. I thought it was a old punk band that I just had never heard of. I thought it was something old from like maybe the early 80s or something. But it's not. It's pretty recent, as I mentioned. Here's the record. 2 songs on each side. And it's good. I mean, I haven't played this to kind of compare and contrast between this and the original Damned versions, but it's really good. It's kind of what you'd expect, just kind of typical punk stuff. But well, yeah, I like it. I thought it was pretty good, kind of interesting pickup. But yeah, Archie and the Bunkers. Let me know if you've ever heard of these guys, because I was not familiar with them at all. 2000, we get Poe and her second album, Haunted, her second and so far final album. I'm sure a bunch of you are familiar with Poe. In the mid-90s, she had kind of a popular tune, Angry Johnny, her first album. Then a few years later, she followed up with this album. I really liked her first album, and I bought this on CD when it was released in 2000, and I really like it. It's kind of a concept record. Her father, she found all these tapes of her father, and she kind of used them. There's, you know, snippets of that throughout the album, and she kind of formed this whole album around these recordings. And I know her brother helped her because he's a writer and wrote like a book called House of Leaves. So some of that's incorporated in this as well. But I really like this album. I mentioned this was her final record as of now because she was signed to Atlantic Records and infamously was kind of screwed over by Atlantic Records, and basically that prevented her from recording any music because they just had some crazy, lawsuit going on and blah, blah, blah. You can probably find a good article somewhere on it, give you the details if you're interested. But it's really a shame because she put out 2 really good albums and seemed like things were kind of moving along and then just stopped dead. And it was just, for years it was like, what happened? What happened? And then, you finally kind of some information started kind of leaking out. But yeah, real shame because she was really talented, and she's put out a couple little random weird things under like a different name here and there, like some music for a video game or whatever. And then recently she put out, I think, like a 12-inch of just this one song. But I don't know. I don't know what her plans are, or if she has any, if she's ever going to record a full album again or play shows. I don't know. But this is an awesome record. I'd been looking for this on vinyl for a long time. There was like a exclusive, I think it was exclusive to like that store Books A Million vinyl released a handful of years ago. But I remember reading that a lot of people were having trouble with the copies they bought. A, it was going for a lot of money, but B, it's 2 LPs, and they were saying that they were getting 2 of the same record. So they're basically getting like 2 copies of side 1, side 2. They weren't getting all 4 sides. And so I kind of, even though once in a blue moon I'd maybe find a copy where I could thought it was reasonably priced, I was kind of afraid to bite the bullet and buy it because I was afraid I was going to get it and it was going to be that issue. So then last year, my buddy Daryl at CD Rabbit Hole, he did a video about this album as well and mentioned that it was available, or I think I commented, I love that album. I've been trying to get it on vinyl. And he said, oh, they just reissued it again. And I looked up, and sure enough, it was on Amazon, and I picked up a copy for, I don't know, maybe $30 or $40, something like that. But I was thrilled to finally have this on vinyl, and I can assure you, the minute I got it, I put the albums on the turntable to make sure that I got all 4 sides, and I did. So that was great. But just really awesome album. Just kind of alternative, just alternative rock. Like I said, I'm sure that a lot of you are kind of familiar with her. A lot of you are probably had forgotten all about her and are like, oh yeah, I remember her. But yeah, check this out. If you're not familiar with this album and you only remember her from her first record, highly recommend you checking this one out. It's really good. Some of the tracks on here that I really dig are Haunted, Walk the Walk, Wild, Hey Pretty, Could Have Gone Mad, and Lemon Meringue. Oh, I didn't even show you. Here's just like the little insert. There you go. But yeah, cool album. Glad to finally have it on vinyl. And finally, 1983, we get The Avengers. Hey, that's why he's wearing that shirt. But great punk band from San Francisco. I had this on CD and went to see the band recently in New York and bought this from the band. The story with this album is that they recorded most of it in 1977 and then didn't release this until 1983, and the band was long gone by that point. I want to say maybe like the drummer or somebody compiled this and put it out, with the blessing of the band. But they were they opened for the Sex Pistols at that infamous final show the Sex Pistols did in San Francisco. And I don't remember what the story was, why they kind of called it a day, but they didn't last too long, and they reconvened a handful of years ago and still play some shows here and there. I had the opportunity to go see them maybe I don't know, a couple of years ago, maybe 2 years ago or 3 years ago, and I couldn't go. I think I was out of town working, so I was really bummed that I didn't get to see them because they were playing at a cool place not far from here. So it would have been cool just to be able to go to see them locally. But the minute they announced this show in Brooklyn, I bought a ticket and I was hoping that I was going to be in town for it. And luckily it all worked out and I got to see them and they were great live. If you get the chance to see them live, I highly recommend checking them out. Tunes on here that I really dig are We Are the One, Open Your Eyes, American and Me, Second to None, and Corpus Christi. Second to None is my favorite song by them by far. We Are the One is something you might find. I have a couple of compilations from Danger House Records, and I know We Are the One's on one of those, so you might find that there. They do a cover of Paint It Black by the Rolling Stones, which they played live when I saw them. There's a live tune on here at the end as well, but yeah, really cool band. If you're not familiar with them and you're into punk music, definitely check them out. So that's everything this time, y'all, and we'll see you another time. Take it easy.